So first things first, Julian, how are you in these crazy times?
I'm still good. I'm healthy. I'm lucky to be healthy right now, and yeah, I'm working a lot on new music. So especially these times, I think it's good to not stand still and wait till it's over and keep going. And although it's hard to stay motivated because there's no gigs, so you have to stay
Sure.
motivated by doing other stuff. But yeah, I'm okay, and I'm lucky to have a great fan base that supports me as well.
Because you have been putting out quite some music in the last couple of months and years. So when this first started happening and it became apparent that live shows weren't gonna happen anymore, what did you pick up? What did you start doing to fill up that time in a way? Did you just jump into creativity?
Yeah, it was crazy for me. Like the first month was like more like a panic kind of
Okay.
attack, not like that I was like totally panicking, but it was more like, okay, what am I gonna do? So the first month I wasn't really productive. I was kind of trying to search my way of getting creative and trying to yeah to fill the gaps in my touring schedule, and I
Mm.
was still not sure like how long this is going to take. It still isn't, but back then maybe people thought like, oh, this is going to last for a month, but everything was like so different back then that like my motivation was totally gone. And
Okay.
after a month I found uh, a lot of motivation again to work on new music. So yeah, strange.
Well, one thing, and playing devil's advocate a little bit, because I remember last year during ADE, one of the kind of big talking points was mental health and overexhaustion in the industry. Um, in a way, is this break from touring in a way good for some DJs and some producers, kind of because of how busy you are?
Yeah, that's what I want to think. You know, I want to be. I always try to be positive and see the positive
Hmm.
side of everything. So yeah, I think for me it was really good to work on myself a little bit. You know, work on my health. You know, I've
Okay.
been doing a lot of sports
Okay.
in the last couple months, thinking about eating healthy and staying healthy to go back on tour like fully charged whenever that's gonna happen. But it's also good to have like a biorhythm again. You know, I can finally sleep the like normal hours, like normal like working people do. So
Sure.
for me, it's kind of a good time to work on myself a little bit, and it feels good to sleep 8 hours every night now.
Fair enough. And one thing I can also imagine, which I hear a lot from people, is that this is a time of reflection. You have some time to yourself. You kind of get to look at what you've done so far. And so I don't know if you have, but when you look back at kind of where you started and everything that happened over the years, how do you look back at some of the earlier tracks, some kind of the development of yourself over the years?
Yeah, it's funny. Like that's also one thing that these times brought me, that you really gonna think about the stuff that you did. Normally, you're like in a roller coaster
Right.
tornado, and you keep going, and then you play the crazy festival, but you're already in your mind you're at the next festival, and then you're still it goes on and on and on, so you never have time to reflect. And right now it's I've been thinking a lot about tours and about productions and about shows that I have been doing, and I'm really blessed. You know, that's also a thing that gave me that's also what gave me this yeah, this partial lockdown kind of thing.
Sure.
So yeah, I look back at my career like very well, like especially when I was younger. You know, it was hard combining touring with
Hmm.
school as well, and then also producing. But to hear back all those that and to see how creative I was back then and how free I felt, I think I really have that same freedom back a little bit right now, because there's no pressure of touring and pressure of delivering the music that I make right now to a crowd.
Hmm.
I feel like I'm more free in my productions, and it feels a little bit like when I started.
Okay. Well, one question about kind of your early days then, because you started playing drums at a very early age. One thing I can imagine, do you play more drums these days, or do you ever play drums?
I don't have a drum kit at home.
Okay,
Yeah, I really want an electric one for
okay,
my neighbors as well. But I did it a few times right recently at the Stamped Studio complex. So yeah, they have drum kits over there, and it really felt great to do that. I also recorded some live drums as well for my production, so that was really cool. Yeah.
Because I can imagine, obviously, that's a passion of yours, and having some more time on your hands now, you get to open up and yeah, venture into things you used to like but didn't have time for anymore. So,
Cool.
um, when it comes to the productions, then you say you have a little bit more freedom. You feel less pressure to put things out. You feel less pressure to have things ready for tours. Sorry, what can you? Yeah, how did that affect your producing it sonically? How did it? Did you take more risks? Did you? Yeah, what were you looking for? And
Yeah, the thing is, normally you think about when you go on tour, you think about crowd reaction. You think about, okay, what element in this track that I'm producing right now is going to work on the dance floors? What are people responding well to? And you can test that out live because you can test out new tracks, demos, etc. But right now, that part is totally gone because you can't test out new tracks. You can't you can't make music for clubs because the clubs aren't open. So you have to really make music from the top of your head, and you have that total creative freedom. Um, and it feels good to me because I'm not like switching to more commercial. I feel like a lot of people are switching to more commercial music because they think like, yeah, people are just listening in the cars at home, so they want more commercial tracks, they easy listening tracks. But for me, I really built my fan base on my club sound, on my signature sound. And I'm really blessed with a great fan base that is really into that sound as well. Even though they can't go out, they still like to listen to that sound. And that all started for me also when I started, because I was 12 when I started producing, and I made club music back then, even though I couldn't go out as well
sure.
because I was too young. So for me, it's always been about passion and about the love for my kind of music, for my signature sound. And recently, I found out that I still enjoy making it, even though I can't play it. So yeah.
That's very good because, well, one of the things about your music, it's always had that energy to have that certain yeah, pace, or I don't know another word for it, but
It's a good word. Thank you.
fair enough. Um, but when you like you say, the context is different now. We can't be in clubs. We can't be. I mean, ADE is all digital this year. Um, do you still go as hard kind of in the studio, or do you rock out as much as you would to the music in this context in a way?
Yeah, I still love it. I still like, that's what I said. Like I always had love for the club music. Like when I was young, I was listening to it and was dancing to it on my in my room.
Okay.
So yeah, I always had love for that kind of music, and I still play that in my car as well. When I really like my own track and that I just made in the studio, I just test it out in my car system, and yeah, I can still rock to it. Yeah, I can still jam to it. So I am, yeah. So that's what that's like to replace a little bit of the crowd and to
Sure.
feel like the connection a little bit in a different way.
Well, let me ask it this way then. Do you need to be in a certain mood to make music, or is kind of that energy, is that always around you?
It's a funny thing because I discovered that recently. For me, it's hard to go inside the studio with a goal, like, okay, you
Okay.
make a track right now. And I see that with a lot of creative people, when you force them to do something, it's never gonna work out the way it should be, you know. And especially with that freedom, like with creative freedom and with feeling um, free, you can make the best tracks, I think. And for me, it works like that. Whenever I'm in a good mood, I make better tracks than whenever I feel forced or whenever I feel stressed. You can also be in a bad mood and make great tracks, but
Mhm.
I feel like for me, I have the energy to do it a lot when I feel like it. So I'm
Okay.
not forcing myself to produce every day. I still do it because when I'm sitting at home and I feel like, oh, I'm sitting at home for like a few hours. Now I hear like a great sound. Maybe I can use that. And it goes very naturally like that. So I'm not like, I don't want to have like a time to work. Like, okay, from 9 to 5, you're going to be in the studio. Not going to work like that. I have to get inspiration. I have to get motivated, and then everything will come by itself.
And so a track like Bad Boy, how did that start? Because that's one of the recent ones, very energetic again. Is that something that just comes to you, or some of the elements come to you when you're just walking around and doing other things, and then you kind of feel that inspiration?
Yeah, it's a funny story. Bad Boy came out, that idea came because I was with a few friends at home. And it was actually Friday night. And for me, normally Friday nights, weekends are just for going out, and not for going out, but for getting on tour. And right now I had the time to be at home and to spend time with family and friends. So I was at home with a friend, and popped up inspiration. And we were sitting in the studio, and I said to him, "Yo, I'm gonna work. Do you mind if I'm just working on my PC?" And he was like, "No, no, no. I'm just gonna be watching a series downstairs." So I was like freaking in the studio, and all of a sudden, Bad Boy was there just because of a night spending with a friend, just chilling out. It's funny how these things come together.
Like you said, that's a very natural way of making music. So with this break, do you? And I mean, obviously, I mean the top 100 DJs is again coming out this year, and all those kind of things. But do you think this whole period in time has made what you do less uh, anxious, or there's less pressure in what you do these days?
I think so. In the beginning, in the first month, for me, it was a lot of pressure because I felt like, all right, what's gonna happen? No one knew, and I felt like everyone was having the same feeling, like all the other DJs. So everyone was like, okay, what am I gonna do? What are other people gonna do? And how is it going there? And everyone was like, okay, now I have to give the full everything 100%. And I feel right now, people feel like you don't need to push it that much. You just need to keep going like you already did and stay working. But it's all about having fun. And when the fun is gone, I think that's the end of an artist, you know.
And this is a very abstract question, I suppose, but what keeps it fun for you after all these years? I mean, you've been making music so long. Obviously, your sound has changed all over, but what keeps it fun for you?
Um, that's actually producing and yeah, the love for music. You know, still enjoy music a lot, and I've been listening to more music right now, especially in these times when I have like a lot of time. I see that I listen to much more music every day. When I was on tour, it was like go there, go there, go that place, go that place, go that place, and now I'm at home a lot, and I enjoy listening to other genres, and I enjoy listening to music, and then inspiration comes up, and then I'm really blessed to be yeah, a producer and a DJ. But right now I'm 100% a producer actually.
Sure. Can you name me one artist that people might that you like to listen to that people might not expect from you?
There's a lot actually. I will check out my Spotify actually because
Sure.
I've been listening to yeah, I've always been a fan of Travis Scott, but
Okay.
yeah, I also like to listen to like more deep house. Um, I see A$AP Rocky. I listen a
Yeah.
lot of urban as well. I'm really big fan of Don Toliver. He really does like great stuff. But then everything. I like to listen to my own sound, you know, to other DJs. I feel like Stamped Records is doing a great job bringing out music these days, and I feel like all their tracks are really doing really well. When I work out, I when I go sporting, I really like to listen to those kind of tracks or to drum and bass. Like it's such a big influence for me.
Are you very hard on yourself in terms of what makes it through and eventually will be released?
I am. I am. I always think about. I always push quality over quantity. You know, so I really want to have the best version, and I'm very picky and very hard on myself because I feel like whenever I get like one negative comment from a friend, I show it to all my friends and I show it to my family and girlfriend. And whenever I get one negative comment, I'm already like, okay, what's wrong about it? And what's, I'm very picky and very hard on myself, and I only want to push the best tracks. So it means like I can make 20 demos and just one of them or maybe zero is gonna come out at the end.
Okay. So it's a lot of hard work that goes into it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So that brings me into the last question then, because you've started a YouTube channel. It's Julian Jordan, kind of showing you the behind the scenes of what you do.
Yeah.
What in your mind is one of the misconceptions people have about being a DJ or being a producer?
I think, like, to be honest, I started this YouTube channel because I was feeling like I couldn't give my fans a real connection with me personally. Whenever I saw people on tour, fans, I met them on tour, they were always really great, and I always like showed how I was like, as a person. And I always felt like I couldn't do that much on Instagram. I besides of like commenting on their comments, but I couldn't really let them show who I am. I posted pictures of me on stage, posted pictures of me in the studio, being in different cities, being in different countries, but you could never really see my personal side. And I was missing how I could do that on Instagram or Twitter. So I was like, YouTube is the perfect way. And one of my best friends is my camera guy, actually. Okay. And he's with me on tour for years now. And we have so many footage of us together in a way that I just talk to my friends, or in a way that I would talk to my friend, the camera guy, that I feel like this is a great way to just show that, bundle everything together and show it to all my fans like I'm talking to them, and that they actually are with me on tour or they are with me at home. And I don't want to only just show them that I'm DJing and stuff like that. I just also want to show them how I am at home, how I am I don't know, at sports, just show my human side as well instead of the guy on stage.
And how much of a difference then is there between Julian Jordan at home and Julian Jordan on stage?
Well, it's funny because always people that go with me on tour or people that go with me to shows, they always say like, I see a different person whenever you step on stage. And I feel like that's true because I know from these years of touring, when I give all my energy, and especially on a day of a show, I stay very quiet the whole day because I feel like I have to save up my energy for the show, and it goes very naturally. It's not that I do that on purpose. It's just, that's how it goes for me. And you really see me the whole day, like for someone that's with me, you see me the whole day just doing very quiet and not like doing that much stuff, not being very energetic. And then all of a sudden I'm on stage and I feel like I have a connection with the crowd, and that's really my passion. So they say like it's totally different. And I think that to show that contrast to my fans is very important because maybe they only see that energetic guy on stage that's just screaming and just having a good time. But they also have to see me at airports waiting for hours. And that's like the misconception a lot of people have, that it's not only partying, it's being on tour a lot, it's waiting a lot. Like the biggest thing you do is waiting. You wait on airports, you wait in hotel rooms till the show. Actually, you go to a different country just for 1.5 hours of a set, or maybe 2 hours. So it's like the rest of the time is just waiting till the show and then waiting to get home. So it's not like that's a big misconception, that it's like that we see the world. That's not true. We don't really see the world. We see a hotel room and we see a plane, and that's it.
Right. Well, let's hope, even though it will involve a lot of waiting, then let's hope you get to tour quite soon, because I'm sure you're ready for it.
I am very ready to go back. And these times also made me realize that like I was also complaining about flights and maybe waiting time and the way I could go to a country or stuff. And now I realize like that it's just a small part of and doing the show is so great. That's my fuel. It gives me energy to do a show and to connect with the crowd, and it's all worth it when you're on stage. And for me, I can't wait to get that feeling back.
Excellent. Julian, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, man. Thank you, Robin.
All right. Have a great day. All right.
You too. Thank you.